The Unplugged Alpha, what the top 5% of men look like. There's a category of men that sits at the very top of the hierarchy, the top 1 to 5%. These are the Unplugged Alphas. They're rare, they're exceptional, and understanding what separates them from everyone else will change how you approach your own development. Let's break down exactly what defines this elite category. They see the matrix. Unplugged alphas have clarity that most men lack. A small percentage are naturals, men who were essentially red-pilled from childhood. They've always been this way. They've always been the high-value men who couldn't be fooled or manipulated. They see through social conditioning, media narratives, and cultural programming that keeps most men asleep. But here's what most people miss. The majority of unplugged alphas weren't born this way. They developed these traits through deliberate work, painful lessons, and conscious evolution. Either way, the result is the same. They see the code in the matrix. They understand how the game actually works. Mental point of origin. This is the foundation of everything. Unplugged alphas operate from a mental point of origin. They chase excellence, not women. Their focus is on becoming the best version of themselves, not on seeking validation or approval from anyone. The result of this mindset? Men want to be them. Women want to be with them. This distinction is critical. When you reach this level, attraction becomes a byproduct of who you are, not something you chase. You don't pursue women. You become the man women pursue. Significant problem solvers. Unplugged alphas don't complain. They don't sulk. They don't whine about circumstances or blame external factors for their situation. When they're unhappy with where they are in life, they find solutions. They take action. They work on it until the problem is solved. This problem-solving orientation extends to every area of life: business, relationships, health, finances. While average men get paralyzed by obstacles, unplugged alphas see obstacles as puzzles to be solved. Social significance. You won't find unplugged alphas living in obscurity. They have significance, social status, influence. Whether they're entrepreneurs, executives, creators, or leaders in their field, they've built something meaningful. If they're on social media, they have strong, supportive followings, not because they chase clout, but because they provide genuine value. They have social proof. People know who they are. Their reputation precedes them. Peak physical conditioning. Unplugged alphas take their physical development seriously. They've achieved, or are actively working toward, peak physical conditioning. This includes the golden ratio, the 1.62 shoulder-to-waist proportion that evolutionary psychology confirms women find most attractive. Broad shoulders, narrow waist. This isn't opinion. This is research-backed biology. You will almost never find an unplugged alpha who is out of shape. Physical excellence is non-negotiable at this level. It signals discipline, self-respect, and high testosterone, traits that translate across every domain of life. Outcome independence. Unplugged alphas are detached from specific outcomes. When things go their way, they appreciate it and keep moving. When things don't go their way, they extract the lesson and keep moving. They don't lose, they learn. This mindset eliminates desperation. It removes neediness. It allows them to take risks that average men avoid because they're not emotionally attached to any single result. Win or learn, never lose. Anti-fragility. This concept separates good men from exceptional ones. Imagine 3 scenarios. Fragile. You drop a box of ceramic mugs. They shatter. Chaos destroys them. Robust. You drop a bag of sand. Nothing changes. It stays the same. Anti-fragile. You add chaos, and the thing actually becomes stronger, better than before. Unplugged alphas are anti-fragile. When they see instability in society, economic uncertainty, political manipulation, cultural decline. They don't panic. They lean into the future. They make plans. They position themselves to benefit from chaos rather than be destroyed by it. While others are paralyzed by change, unplugged alphas are strengthened by it. Seven-figure wealth. Unplugged alphas have figured out how to generate significant wealth. We're talking 7 figures minimum, often 8. But here's what separates them from rich men who are still plugged in. They don't accumulate wealth to impress women or display status symbols. They build wealth because they understand options. Money solves problems. Money creates freedom. Money provides leverage. They don't chase wealth for external validation. They chase it because being financially powerful is a fundamental component of being a fully actualized man. Women complement, never dominate. Unplugged alphas only allow women into their lives if those women are a complement, not the focus. A woman adds value to an already excellent life. She doesn't become the center of it. And here's the critical skill. They spot problem women fast and remove them immediately. No tolerance for drama. No patience for red flags. No willingness to let chaos-creating women derail their mission. If she's not adding to his life, she's subtracting from it. And subtraction gets eliminated quickly. Never the smartest in the room. Unplugged alphas intentionally place themselves in challenging environments. There may be moments when they're the most capable person in a room, when they're being paid to speak, teach, or lead. That's different. But they never deliberately spend extended time in rooms where they're clearly the most advanced. When they look around and realize they've outgrown their environment, they find a more challenging one. Growth requires discomfort. Comfort breeds stagnation. They constantly seek rooms where they're forced to level up. Network is net worth. You could strip an unplugged alpha of everything. Take his money, take his properties, take his cars, take his businesses. Drop him in a foreign country with nothing. As long as he has his phone and his contacts, he will rebuild. His network is his net worth. Unplugged alphas cultivate phenomenal networks, relationships with other high-value, high-performing individuals. These connections allow them to solve problems that average men couldn't touch. While plugged-in men focus on what they know, unplugged alphas focus on who they know. Ruthless curation of circle. The final trait. Unplugged alphas surround themselves with winners and remove losers quickly. No sentimentality. No loyalty to people who drag them down. No tolerance for mediocrity in their inner circle. They understand that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So they curate those 5 people ruthlessly. Winners stay, losers go. No exceptions. The bottom line. The unplugged alpha represents the top 1 to 5% of men. He sees through social conditioning. He operates from mental point of origin. He solves problems instead of complaining. He maintains physical excellence. He builds significant wealth. He remains outcome independent and anti-fragile. He allows only high-quality women to complement his life. He surrounds himself with winners. And his network gives him the ability to rebuild from zero. This isn't fantasy. These men exist. The question is, are you building yourself into one of them? Subscribe for more content on becoming the man you were meant to be.